And the man in your picture, Boris Becker, the number 8 seed in the tournament, and only his first appearance in this Italian Open final. He will be the first German ever to appear in the Italian Open final. And the umpire, Paolo Pereira, spinning for the toss. And what a fascinating contest this will be between these two players. Pete Sampras has his tournament record. First round he beat Aaron Krickstein. He lost a set in the second round to Koroteja. He had a couple of closest matches against Chesnikov and in the following round, but in the semi-final he beat Dozadel very convincingly, 6-1, 6-2, and he's in fine form. Boris Becker, on the other hand, had a tougher match against Goran Ivanisevic yesterday, and he played some very clever tennis, keeping the pace of the match down, not hitting the ball too hard, and causing Ivanisevic a good deal of trouble. And Becker finally winning that match 6-2, 7-6. And there we have his record in the tournament. He lost in the set in the first round to Karol Novacek, but then very convincing wins over Sanchez and Piolín, and then a walkover from his compatriot Michael Stich, who was the number 2 seed. Stich had some back problems. So the liaison with the new coach this year seems to be doing Becker a lot of good. Nick Bollettieri has obviously started to improve Becker. And there we have the staggering career earnings of Pete Sampras. $9 million. And currently this year he has won 38 and lost only 2 matches. And there's the career record of Boris Becker, 540 wins against only 144 losses. His last title was in Milan earlier this year, where he defeated Peter Korda. But he has never won on clay. He's reached only 3 finals in the previous 57 career finals on clay.
È stato poi finalista al Master ATP di Francoforte. Ha iniziato nel modo migliore la stagione 94, dove ha fatto centro già 6 volte, a Sydney, agli Open di Australia, Indian Wells, a Lipton di Key Biscayne, a Osaka e al Japan Open. Gioca per la 5ª volta a Roma.
So the sunglasses very much in evidence there. And the sun beats down on this red clay court. There's not a seat to be found.
Numero 1 del mondo e testa di serie numero 1 di questo torneo, la statunitense Pete Sampras.
And unquestionably the world's number 1 at the moment, Pete Sampras, getting a tremendous round of applause.
2 minutes.
They haven't met since Wimbledon last year, these two players, when Sampras won it in 3 sets. But this will be a very different match from then. Undoubtedly going to see some rallies today. And it'll be interesting to see what tactics Becker employs. He surprised everybody yesterday when he slowed the game down against Ivanisevic, playing with a lot of touch, different spins, slice, top spin, giving the hard-hitting Ivanisevic very little pace to work with. The best results, both players reaching a semi-final here, but no better than that. And the Italians love their tennis. Will be fascinated to see this match. They'd love to see the long, drawn-out rallies, the drop shots, the touch play. That's what these courts are all about. And red clay recognised as being the toughest surface physically for players. And this tournament, followed as it is by the French Open, also on clay, is a stern physical test for players. And Pete Sampras, if he wants to establish himself as perhaps the greatest player of all time, will certainly have to win on clay. And he couldn't do better than starting by winning here today. And so, Pete Sampras serving. In this best of 5 set final. And Becker taking an early opportunity to come to the net, but it's the smoothest backhand that passes him. That registering on the speedometer. And we can expect many more of those today. Lovely touch from the German drop shot dying, giving Sampras no chance. Well, Pete Sampras going for a very big second serve, and he's paying the penalty for that because he faces a break point in the first game. Well, Becker will be disappointed with that. He had an opening, he had a chance to pass. And what a great point that was. Becker at full stretch, giving Sampras the angle. And he didn't miss on that backhand again. But it's going to be a long, hot afternoon for these players. And they're going to want to pace themselves throughout this match. And if they have a lot of rallies like that, it's going to be the player who's in the best physical shape who is going to stand the best chance of winning. This Italian Open is the 5th of the 9 Tour Championship Series singles events this year. And it's the 3rd being played in Europe. And it's fine sitting there in the crowd, soaking up the sun, but it's not so much fun down on the court. And the winner here this week will pick up $280,000. And the difference between winner and loser, slightly under $140,000. So a lot of money at stake as well as prestige, but I think it's the prestige that will be more important to these players. Sampras zeroing in on the backhands down the line. That's the 3rd one so far. And Becker taking the chance on the second serve and coming in. And Sampras getting round and hitting the forehand just inside the line. So break point to Pete Sampras. Right on the line, and a tremendous return from a high kicking serve. Sampras stabbing it down the line, and the serve was good. Sampras just managing to control it, and so he breaks immediately for a 2-love lead. A relatively easy smash put away by Sampras. The combination of the serve and the volley made to look very simple. Well, Pete Sampras off to an impressive start. And what a tough task it is for Boris Becker. He must be confident after his recent successes this week, but to try and break the winning run of Pete Sampras is going to be very difficult. Although Sampras not recognised as a clay court player, he seems to have settled down into a groove very early on. He's not making mistakes, he's serving well. His serve still tremendously effective even on this slow surface. Gives him a lot of free points. And if the return does come back, the volley is so solid. He really is the complete player now, and he must be wanting to confirm that by winning a clay court title. But you couldn't have two bigger names than this in a final. Pete Sampras perhaps representing the modern era, and Boris Becker almost the veteran by comparison. I'm sure the crowd will be wanting Becker to do well. And to get himself going, he has to hold serve here. And that's the top 10 at the moment. And you don't see the name of Boris Becker there. He's now ranked 13 at the moment, but I believe after this week he will be back in the top 10.
No!
And Becker responding to everything thrown at him here. Coming up with a very good backhand at the feet of Sampras. Becker's second double fault. That was bad positioning from Boris Becker. The feet weren't correctly positioned for that stroke. And Sampras almost waiting for that serve, taking it very early. So Sampras with a break point to take a 4-love lead. And Becker at a loss to know what to do, and feeling the pressure, he puts in his third double fault. The crowd urging him on. And it's going to be very difficult for him if he lets Sampras get on top here. Playing with so much confidence. And he's a sort of player, Pete Sampras, that once he gets away from you, he just plays more and more powerful and error-free tennis. An unusual volleying error from Sampras. He seemed to slip and going for that. But he still has game point for 5-love. Becker putting a lot of slice on that backhand, just making Sampras to try and dig it out, and he missed the ball down the line. Much better play from the German. So the first break point for Boris Becker. A lovely serve volley combination from Sampras. It's the good wide serve that sets up the point, but he's still under pressure. But Sampras unleashing a tremendous forehand. Again, game point for 5-love. And Becker responding with a forehand of his own. Another tremendous point. Becker doing his best he could with that backhand. Sampras just hitting the volley sufficiently short to produce the error from Becker. And we have a more competitive match on now. Sampras being made to work hard for this game. But the third ace brings up another game point. Well, that was a good game for Pete Sampras to win because Boris Becker started to perform a bit. It's been a very slow start prior to that for the German. Sampras streaked into a 5-love lead inside 30 minutes. And Becker has it all to do. And Becker faces the same problems that any player faces against Sampras. The world's #1 just has so many shots to hurt you with. He has no weaknesses, no discernible weaknesses. He moves tremendously well. It's so important on these courts. And the serve is such a potent weapon. Becker with the towel over the head, trying to save himself from the sun. Now he needs badly to hold serve, so that at least if he drops a set, he will start serving first in the second set.
Seduti per favore. Il gioco riprende. Grazie. Un po' di silenzio, per favore.
Boris Becker, who hasn't yet served tremendously well in this match, needs to now. Becker should gain encouragement from that rally. Becker's fourth double fault, and there's been a history of these double faults in this set at rather important times, and Becker's looked as though he was going to go ahead and hold serve. He's thrown in a rather poor double. And that's more like it. And the crowd encouraged by that. Boris Becker getting his name on the score sheet. Still 5-1 down though, and Pete Sampras going to serve for the first set. Decidedly sluggish Becker, not getting across to that. And so Pete Sampras with 3 points for the first set. Unaccustomed error from the Sampras racket. Still set point. Again, the forehand misses. So Becker creeping back. Sampras at 40-30. Becker screaming at himself because he knows that was inexcusable, a forehand error when he was starting to get back into the game. And he simply can't afford that sort of mistake if he's going to get into this match. So the first set under the belt of Pete Sampras, 6-1. Sampras won his last 6 finals that he's appeared in. The last time he lost was in the IBM ATP Tour World Championship in Frankfurt last November, when he lost to Michael Stich. So he's certainly not accustomed to losing in finals. And of the two players, it certainly seems as though Boris Becker has started more hesitantly. And the percentage of winners completely on the Sampras side. 16 winners as against 2 for Becker. Similar number of unforced errors. Very low service percentage from Becker. Only 29% of first serves in court. And that's simply not good enough.
Sedute per favore. Al fondo, sedute per favore. Seconda partita al servizio Becker.
So Becker serving, second set.
Sedute per favore. Il gioco riprende. Grazie.
No! And it's that forehand of Sampras hit on the run that causes so much damage. Perhaps the best shot in the game at the moment. Becker, a big kick serve, but failing to get down to that low volley, and he slipped. And he's a big man, and it's very difficult for him to recover. That was the Boris Becker we see at Wimbledon so often. He's slipping and sliding, but this time he covers the backhand from Sampras. And that is just too good. A Sampras forehand, clipping the line. Becker drawn out of court by the return, and he leaves the angle for Sampras, who whips the forehand down the line. And the first serve ace, or at least the first service ace for Becker, this time on the second serve. Saves one break point. Yes, and Becker looking at his feet and saying he just can't seem to get a grip on this court. It's quite dry and dusty, and Sampras appreciating that and putting Becker under a lot of pressure in the rallies, taking the ball early, hitting the ball hard, giving him no chance to settle. And it's quite difficult to see what Boris Becker can do here unless he can raise his game. He's lost 7 out of 8 games. And that's another break of serve to Pete Sampras. The crowd urging Boris Becker, urging him on. And it's going to be a mental battle for him now. He has to believe he can get back into this match. Sampras serving. 1-love second set, having won the first by 6 games to 1. And Becker has really no answer at the moment. Sampras producing winners from all sides of the court. It's putting Becker under so much pressure, the German just unable to reach that. Beautiful disguise on that forehand volley. Becker telling himself to move, which seems to be his first problem. He's simply not moving well enough to get into these rallies. But the second problem has been his serve, which has lacked bite and hasn't put Sampras under sufficient pressure. Just as well, because it was a tremendous return from Sampras. Second ace from Becker. Again, Sampras taking the ball so early on the return, hurrying Becker, forcing the error. This is an unbelievable point. And a good backhand volley from Boris Becker, and you wouldn't think Sampras could get that. But he's such an athlete, and the racket control was perfect. about the first backhand pass that Pete Sampras has missed. So that gives Boris Becker another point to hold serve. And this time he makes it.
Sampras leads 2-1.
And what a game Becker had to play to hold serve. Pete Sampras coming up with some amazing shots. And Becker has the problem that he has to try to get this match closer. He has to try to make Sampras think a little bit more. At the moment, Sampras is coasting. He feels confident. The strokes are flowing. And it's very difficult to see what Boris Becker can do to upset that rhythm. And there we can see that most of those winners are real clay court specialists. Jim Courier, the winner in the last 2 years, almost exclusively, apart from Andres Gomez, they're all European clay courters who've won this tournament. So Boris Becker, although European, would hardly call himself a clay court exponent. And Pete Sampras has only ever won one clay court tournament before. That was in Kitzbühel in 1992.
Per favore silenzio, silenzio. Gioco riprende. Grazie.
Pete Sampras serving, 2-1, second set. And Becker shrugs. What can you do? He's hitting lines everywhere. Sampras' second double fault. And a thunderous backhand from Becker. Sampras in on the short ball. The approach could have been deeper.
From the
Boris Becker knocking the clay off his shoes. He's just unable to get enough grip on this court. Not able to pick up those forehands of Sampras's. So he's serving 1-3 down, second set. Forehand fractionally missing the baseline. The ball fizzing across the net in that rally. Two aces from Becker in that game. A definite improvement in the serve of Boris Becker. Pulls him back to 3-2. And if only Becker could continue this improvement in form, because the Italian crowd will certainly get behind him. They'd love to see a close match. The volume would certainly go up if Becker could break the Sampras serve. But so far today, there have just been too many errors coming from Boris Becker's racket. He's been under tremendous pressure, without a doubt, and Sampras has been almost flawless in everything he's done.
Prende il posto, per favore. Seduti, per favore. Allora, signore, il gioco lo prende. Grazie. Grazie.
Becker, percentage of first serve, certainly improved a lot in this set. So Sampras holds on. He takes a 4-2 lead. And I don't know whether he thinks it's a change of ends, but it's not. No, he's up again, changing his racket. And a convincing service game from Pete Sampras. So he's still a break up and in the driving seat. Becker serving 2-4. And that rather open stance backhand from Becker pushed out. And another break of serve here, and Becker would really be up against it. I think he is already. But to go 2 breaks down would almost certainly seal the second set. And to come back from 2 sets down against the world's #1 could be asking too much. And a 6 double fault from Boris Becker has given Sampras break point for 5-2 in the second set, having already won the first by 6-1. Yes, and that was always going to be dangerous with somebody who moves as well as Sampras. Becker going back cross court. Sampras hanging in on the point. And here, Becker takes the cross court option, but he leaves the angle open and is left stranded by that cross court forehand. So a poor game from Boris Becker. It looked as though he was getting back into this match. He dropped serve to go 5-2 down. And he's had a good tournament, so it's all the more of a shame that he hasn't been able to produce that form today. But really it's because of the tremendous play of his opponent, Sampras. Becker had some good wins this week, beating Karol Novacek from Czechoslovakia in the first round in 3 sets. And Javier Sanchez, a clay court exponent, he beat him comfortably in the second round in straight sets. And then Cedric Pioline of France was defeated 6-3, 6-4. So he's had some good wins. And I'm sure he's drawn encouragement from that. But he's been no match for this man.
Per favore, al fondo, seduti. Il gioco riprende. Grazie.
And that's the sort of error that Becker has been executing all day. A relatively simple backhand, missed by a considerable margin. And I think the gist of that was that not much is going right for him. He hasn't hit too many in today. And another line ball. And that gives Sampras the second set by 6 games to 2. And perfection is the name of the game for Pete Sampras at the moment. Right on the line, that forehand. And this will be his 27th straight singles victory. The last loss was to Jacko Elting back in Philadelphia in February. And they've been on court just over the hour. And Becker sees himself 2 sets down. And the volley was the error on that point, but the serve was very short, and that's been his problem today, an inability to strike the serve consistently deep. Now Becker facing 3 break points. First game of the third set. And watching that sort of play from Sampras, it's very hard to see why this man shouldn't become perhaps the greatest player of all time. He has everything you could ask for in a tennis player. And he's won on every surface except clay in a major title. And now he's starting to look more and more at home on that surface. The truth of the matter is that he has simply outclassed Becker today. The German hasn't been allowed to get into this match. And whilst he certainly hasn't by any means played his best, he hasn't been allowed to. And again, although Becker improving on that first serve percentage from the first set, is still well down on the Sampras serve. Sampras serving, 1-love, third set. Well, a rare forehand error from the Sampras racket. And every time Becker has had the opportunity to get into this match, he has generally made an error. tremendous point, and that's more like the Becker we know. Covering the net well and putting Sampras under some pressure. The first time Becker has really ventured to the net for some time, and it brings him some success. So a break point for Boris Becker, and he hasn't seen too many of these in this match. Well, Sampras breaks a string on the first serve. So, the real chance for Boris Becker. Break point, second serve, different racket. Becker just not quick enough there to get the ball back and make Sampras play again. And again, Pete Sampras hitting such a good length on the ground strokes, forcing the error from Becker. So it's game point to go 2-love in the third set. Some doubt about that ball. And the ball called out. Real let off for Becker. Just out. Miss-hit smash from Pete Sampras. This time it's in. Becker finally finding the right length. Right in the corner, this one. Nick Bollettieri, Becker's new coach. And a crucial ace to take Becker to game point. And there's certainly been a lack of mobility about Boris Becker today. Whether the exertions of the week have taken their toll on him. He certainly hasn't moved very freely. Yes, and that's the back edge of the line. And that fortunate return from Sampras gives him another break point. This time for 3-love in the third set. And leading by 2 sets to love. And one of the few missed returns from Pete Sampras. He's been so solid on that backhand, taking the serve inside the baseline.
Becker.
Well, what a good rally this was. Both players at full stretch. That forehand from Becker opening up the court. And for once, Boris Becker comes off best in a rally situation. And Sampras looking flat-footed. Well, there haven't been too many occasions like that so far today. Becker's been the man in the hot seat, and he's held serve there to pull back to 1-2, but the situation still desperate. And Sampras will know well that he can't afford to relax at all. Everything's been going well for him. He needs to keep this break of serve ahead, and he will be well on his way to his first Italian Open title.
Grazie. Secondi per favore al fondo del campo. Per favore.
And really very little an opponent can do about that. Well, this time Becker gets the benefit of the line.
40-30.
And Becker hasn't broken serve so far today. And time is running out.
Sampras leads 3-1.
So there we have it, 6-1, 6-2, 3-1. And the world's #1 looks unstoppable. Boris Becker serving 1-3 down. And much more uninhibited hitting from Becker. And a lovely rally this. Sampras up to the net so quickly. And great athleticism from the American. And I don't think there was much doubt that that was long. And Becker serving 7 double faults so far today, which has proved very expensive. Points have not been easy to come by anyway, and to give away 7 at sometimes crucial moments has proved very expensive. And just missed. And it was the depth of that approach shot that just forced the error. And Boris Becker finishing that game with perhaps his best point of the match.
Time. Sedute per favore. Un po' di silenzio. Un po' di silenzio per favore. Per cortesia. Grazie.
Now,
Grazie.
Pete Sampras serving. 3-2, third set. His fifth ace. And I think I remember the crowd questioning what Becker was up to, and he's saying, "I'm doing my best." And those backhands need to hit the line if Boris Becker is going to get himself into this match. He must break the Sampras service. The timing is so good. The footwork is always perfect. Sampras 40-15, 2 points for 4-2. Well, Becker trying new tactics, rushing the net on the second serve, but still it had no effect. And this rally is really a summary of the match today. Whatever Becker has done, Sampras has been able to do better. So he has Becker in trouble again on his serve, love 30. And that wild forehand gives Sampras 3 break points. And that was right on the line. And Pete Sampras breaks serve again to lead 5-2 in the 3rd set. And he leads by 2 sets to love. And a subdued crowd, obviously hoping for a real battle here today. Been disappointed because Sampras has given an exemplary performance and displayed just why he is the world's #1 at the moment. He's allowed Boris Becker just 5 games so far in these 3 sets. And Becker had to work pretty hard for those. He's had about 2 break points on the Sampras serve and failed to make either of them. But other than those, he's had very few chances. Now the crowd would love to see Becker respond by breaking Sampras' serve. Sampras serving for the match. And a good return right at Sampras' feet. And the forehand blasted past him. So with that tremendous second serve, Pete Sampras takes himself to match point after an hour and 51 minutes. And with that conclusive serve and smash, Pete Sampras justifiably wins the 1994 Italian Open. A truly conclusive victory, 6-1, 6-2, 6-2 in under 2 hours. And he repeats the victories of his compatriot Jim Courier in 1992 and 93 for a third consecutive American victory. And there was really little doubt that Sampras was going to maintain the sort of form that's given him 26 wins in a row on the circuit. Becker slow to start, looking somewhat jaded at the end of the week. He went straight into a 5-love lead, Sampras. And from that moment, Becker was always struggling to get back into the match. He did play better, but this man never let him get into the match. And so the Sampras machine rolls on to the French Open at Roland Garros. And there, no doubt, he'll be confident of achieving his 4th Grand Slam title in a row. Boris Becker, who hasn't ever won a title on clay, obviously hoped to do better today, but I think realistically he didn't think that he would upset Sampras. He nevertheless had a good week with some good wins, and although he'll be unhappy with his performance today, nevertheless I think he'll go forward to the French Open and Wimbledon with some confidence. There we have the match summary. And the winners tell the story. 39 winners from the Sampras racket. Hard to believe that he's still only 22 years of age. I'm sure destined to be probably the greatest player of all time.